Alright, bro, here we go with the pizza making presentation, okay? Instructional video. This is going to be broken down into a few parts, but this is going to be the first part, just making the preliminary dough. Some people actually call this the poolish, P-O-O-L-I-S-H. It's almost kind of a very liquidy kind of base for the dough, and that really gets the fermentation going. So I don't use any measurements because, you know, I know the consistency now, and once you get to my level, you'll be able to do the same thing. But I do have my little scale right here, and I'll tell you approximately, I'll give you the amount in grams, so, you know, if you want to weigh it out. I don't know if you have a scale or not. Alright, so I start off with one of these stainless steel bowls, okay? I use bread flour, but you know, we did a great job at your place with the you know, regular flour, so don't worry about it. See, I use this fucking bread flour right here. I got some more, so don't worry. So let's see now. I'm gonna put in approximately what I need here, and I'm gonna show you the amount. So this is almost all done, this bag. I'm just gonna empty the whole bag in here. So far that's 200 grams. The amount I'm gonna make is, that'll give us like two nice pieces of dough for two pizzas. And okay, you could do this with whole wheat pizza too, so don't worry. Like, you know, I know that Paula likes whole wheat. Right, going in with the other. Alright, so I got like 550 grams. I got 550 grams of flour. It looks like, here, let me tilt this down. It looks like this. 550 grams of flour. Okay? I don't know how many cups that is. You could translate that into cups if you just go to Google or whatever. Alright, so I got 550 grams of flour. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some salt. Okay, I just take coarse, this is coarse kosher salt. I'm going to take like 2 pinches really. Yeah, let me focus it on the bowl if I can. There we go. So one, I put one in there. I'm going to put another one in there. Alright. Then I'm going to take something to mix it up. You don't want to put the yeast in with the salt, on top of the salt, because it'll kill the yeast. So I'm just going to like mix this around a little bit. So I just incorporate the salt in there. Okay, now for you want to take your honey. I use sugar because that's all I got right now. So you want to take like a tablespoon of honey, all right? And what I did at your place is I just diluted it in some warm water, like a little bit of warm water. I diluted that tablespoon of honey, and I just threw it in there. All right. So for me, I'm gonna throw sugar in there. Again, it's like a pinch of sugar. You don't want a lot. You know, like a tablespoon of honey, maybe even 3/4 of a tablespoon of honey. You throw it in there, okay? And again, we're gonna mix it around. All right, we're gonna mix it around. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take one of our active yeast. Okay, we bought a pack there. All right, so let me open this up. Oh shit, hang on a second. I got my scissors here. I'm coming back, bro. All right, so I got my yeast, 1 pack. All right, just gonna cut it. Make sure you know, flap it out a little bit. And all you do is you just dump that pack right in there. Okay, so here's what it looks like. Yeah, you got your yeast. You see that? The yeast, the brown, the tan thing. And now I'm going to mix it all around. Alright, so I'm just taking my spoon again. I'm incorporating all that in there. Now comes the fun part. Also, we want to add a little bit of olive oil. I would say like a tablespoon. I just squirt this in there, basically like a tablespoon of olive oil, okay? Okay, that's in there. Just, I put in the olive oil. I don't think I got to show you. Now comes the fun part. We're going to add some warm water, not hot. And again, I'm not really measuring this, but I'm gonna do this for you. I got this thing. This holds 2 cups. All right, I'm gonna start off with. This is 2 cups of water. 2 cups of warm water, and I'm dumping it in the mixture. Okay? I'll show you what it looks like. Following me so far? Alright, here we go. So, see that? The water's in. And what I do is, I take just anything to mix. You could use your hands, it gets really sticky, but I use the end of my spoon and I just start stirring this thing around, Keep stirring it, and you're going to see it's going to start clumping together. Some of the flour will stick to the sides, okay? That's all right. Let me show you the consistency right now. It's very sticky. All right, it's kind of lumpy. You see that? And you could also see, like here, there's flour sticking to the side. All right, you want to do this a little bit longer until it all clumps together. And now what you're going to do, all right, I'm just going to wash this thing off the handle. Okay, it's no more. Now you're going to get your hands dirty. I want you to put the warm water. Okay, I got warm water running in the sink. I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to wet my hand, really wet, and I'm going to go in there and start like moving it around, folding it around. So I'm going to wet my hand. I'm going in there. I'm folding it. There's still going to be some dry flour in there. You wet your hand again. You get your hand nice and wet. All right, this thing is going to start getting wet and sticky. It's okay. You want that. All right, see that now? You see how it looks now? Even more water. More water on the hand. Hydration is everything, bro. You can't overhydrate. I'm telling you, this was a big mistake. You see, look. You see the consistency right now? There's more. I'm going to add more water with my hand. It's just my hands doing this right now. Alright? Alright, just keep squeezing it. One more time, we're going to go in there. I'm going to show you what it looks like. Maybe even one more time. I'm going to go one more time with my hands. So I don't know, we did it like around 5 times right now or something. I'm squeezing it now. Just wash my hand off. Alright, now look, this is what it's going to look like. It's wet, alright? Look. Let me pick it up so you can see it. You see that? It's all gloopy and shit. It's good. It's going to get even more wet. Do it one more time. Alright, remember, you can't have too much hydration. And by the way, you notice, look, Look, there's no more, okay? There's no more flour, dry flour, sticking to the edge of the bowl anymore, okay? It's all incorporated into the dough. Now what you're gonna do is just take some plastic wrap, or you could even, you could even really cover it with a dish towel like that, all right? And take some plastic wrap. Always keep plastic wrap, man. It's very, very handy. And I'm just gonna cover this sucker up nice and tight. All right. There we go. And now I'm just gonna set this aside for like 20 minutes. You know, go do. Yeah, look. I'm just gonna set this thing aside. Not even paying attention to it for like 20 minutes. Alright? And then after like 20, 25 minutes, a half an hour, no rush. You know, this is not a thing you want to rush. This is, you know, it takes love and devotion and patience. Patience, man. Like time is what makes it good. I didn't know that in the beginning. Like, I used to make dough and then like 15 minutes later I would try to make pizza out of it. You can't do that, man. Pizza's an art form, man. You gotta respect the pizza. You gotta respect the dough. You know, good things take time, as we all know. Here's another great example. Like, it's an example of the universe, bro. Like, good things take time. All right. I took off my rings, by the way, because I don't like them getting all sticky and shit in the dough. So we'll come back. I'm gonna leave this for 20 minutes. All right, it's all covered up. We're gonna come back, and basically when we come back, we're gonna do it again with more water, one more time, and then there's a third step in this before we put it in the refrigerator. So I'll be right back. All right, we're back, and now it's been like over a half an hour. I want to show you now what the dough should look like at this point. You see it now? It's like, it's a little bubbly. All right, if you stick your finger in, it's very sticky. You see, it's still sticking to my finger here. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna mix it up again with our hand with some water. So stand by. All right, I'm back. So now we are gonna take our dough. Oops, plastic wrap just fell down. We're gonna take the dough, and once more we're gonna give it a whirl with a wet hand. All right, so remember, what we did the first time was put the flour in, put the salt in. Okay, we mixed the flour and the salt around so the salt was distributed. We put the sugar, or the in your case you're going to be putting the honey, diluted honey, and we put some olive oil. Then we put 2 cups of water to begin with. Remember, I had 550 grams of flour. We mixed it around with a spoon or whatever. It got chunky, and then with our hand, you know, we came up to the consistency like what it is right now. And now we're going to do it one more time. All right, so let me refocus down here. All right, here's my dough. I got to take my ringies off because I don't want to get them all full of dough. All right, a little warm water on my hand, wet hand. And in we go, just turning it, and if you're folding it over, I'm folding it over, right? Keep your hand nice and wet. If it starts sticking to your hand, just wet it. Right now, it's looking like this, you see? More water. Gonna fold it over. You see what I'm doing? I'm folding it. I'm just folding it over and pressing it down. I'm folding it over and squishing it down. Fold it over and squish it down. You don't have to do a lot. I'm going to do one more little water application, okay? Fold it over. See how it looks? Kind of flat in there, but fold it over, squish it down. You know, 5, 7, 8 times, that's enough. Alright? Just going to make it kind of like a little... Alright, that's it. I'm going to shut the water off. Now, guess what we're going to do now? We're going to cover it up again. And the next part is going to be fun. But we got to leave it alone a little bit now. Actually, at this stage, the longer you leave it, the better. Like, you could leave it for an hour. I mean, you could leave it 15 minutes, you could leave it for a half an hour, but remember what I said the first time. Like, patience is everything. Don't try to rush the process. Time is what makes this thing good, all right? So, I got it here. It's wrapped up with the plastic wrap again. And the next step is going to be the final step before we're going to put it into the refrigerator for 48 hours. And this is going to be an important step. So when I come back, I'm going to show you this step. Alright, I'm back. Now we're ready for the fun part. Not really, but this is going to be a little bit different from what we've been doing up until now. I waited, I don't know, it's been like maybe 45 minutes. I'm going to show you the dough and see what it looks like. And now, you know, after I show you the dough, we're going to put it down on the countertop and we're going to add some flour and we're going to start kneading the dough. You want to knead the dough for at least 5 minutes. I'm going to show you so it gets nice and smooth and soft. And that just builds the strength of the gluten, okay? So here we go. Alright, check out the dough. It's been sitting here. I mean, it really got puffed up. You see it? It's still very, very sticky and wet. But that's how we want it. That's actually called the poolish. You could look that up. I talked about it earlier. P-O-O-L-I-S-H. That's almost like the core of the dough. You want it wet, you know, you want it fermented, and it looks beautiful. We're going to have a lot of dough. So now we're going to knead the dough. Alright, as you can see here, I got a nice clean surface. I wiped it down with a sponge and a dry cloth. It's very clean. And what we're going to do now is we're going to throw down some flour. To start off, not a lot. There you go. We're going to throw down a little flour to start off. Just going to spread that around a little bit. I hope you can see it. Yeah, you can see it. Now I'm going to take my dough and just scoop it out with my hand. It's very wet and sticky. Okay, and I'm just going to, see how it's sticking in my hand? That's okay, that's okay. I'm going to drop it down into the flour. I'm setting aside my dish, my bowl, and what I'm doing here in the flour is just I'm folding it over, folding it over, folding it over, okay? Wow, I made a lot of dough actually. I don't know if you need that 550 grams, but whatever. This could probably make 3 pieces. I'll fold it over. I'm going to keep folding. Now you want to do this for 5 minutes, and then what you want to do is you want to roll it out. Not with a rolling pin, just like I'm doing right now. And if it starts to stick, you just add little bits of flour. But right now, I got plenty of flour, right? So I'm going to do this for 5 minutes. Okay, see? I just keep folding it over and rolling it. You're going to feel it's nice and soft and mushy, like it feels like a soft baby's ass. And this is going to get real smooth when I'm done, alright? Look, I'm rolling it out. Then I'm folding it over. You see? Rolling it. Folding it over again. Rolling it. 5 minutes you want to do this. All right, this is like 3 minutes now. By the way, if it starts getting sticky like that, just, you can throw down a little bit more flour. All right, you see it's getting smooth. Just don't worry about it. Throw it down a little, not a lot. Just, you know, keep it so it's easy to work with. But you wanna keep rolling it. Just like, I don't know, 2-3 minutes. You see it's getting smooth. You see that? That's how you want to do it. Don't be afraid to throw down a little flour. Not too much, like you want to keep that moisture in there. The hydration is the key, man. Yeah, we made a lot of dough with that 550 grams. I don't think you even eat. You probably do like 400, 450 grams. This could be 3 pizzas right here, 550 grams. Just so you know. I keep folding it over, right? And I keep rolling it. Rolling it over. The quicker you do it, the better. It won't stick, right? You just sop up. You could sop up some of that flour that's on the countertop. All right? Just keep rolling it, man. Rolling it. One thing you might want to have handy, if you don't have one, I got one of these bakers, whatever it calls, scrapers or whatever. Like, if it starts sticking, you just turn it over. You could use like a flat knife or something like that. I'm going to put a little tiny bit of more flour on here, but it's getting close. A few more minutes. It's getting close. You don't need a lot of flour. You want to keep that hydration in there, man. You know? Fold it over. Just remember, keep folding it. That's going to create the air pockets. See how nice and smooth? Look at that. It's getting all smooth. Should sound like that, you see? Like a drum. Keep doing it. Roll it out. Fold it over. Another minute or so, I'll be done. You know, if it sticks, you want to get yourself one of these. They're really, I don't know what they call, like a baker's scraper or a dough scraper. You get them on Amazon. They're cheap, a couple of bucks, or a restaurant supply shop or something. In the meantime, I'm going to clean out my my bowl, because it's going to go back in here. So while that's sitting there, the original bowl that I made the dough in, I'm just cleaning that out, because we're going to put the dough back in there and we're going to stick it in the refrigerator. Alright, got that. Just try that out. Alright, now, just want to make sure my hands are dry. Gotta do it. Keep rolling it out. And it's looking real good. A little tiny more bit of flour I'm going to add on there. Not a lot. Remember, you want to keep the hydration. There you go. Oops, spilled some of that flour. Spill on there. Roll it out. Fold it. Alright, now make it into a nice little ball, like a mound. You know, I like to do this. It's very satisfying. See? You hear it? You hear it? Alright, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my bowl. I got this little oil spray thing, but you could just take some olive oil like this. If you got some olive oil, just coat the inside of this bowl so it doesn't stick. You know, smush it around with your hand. Alright? Got that, right? My olive oil right in there, and then just put it in there. And now, there you go. The dough is in there. We're going to cover that dough up with our plastic wrap. And now that's going into the refrigerator for 48 hours, folks. That's called cold fermentation. The yeast is gonna ferment the dough, but because it's cold, it's gonna be a slow process. It's much more, I think it's just like more efficient, slow process. And when we take it out on the day we're gonna use it, and we let it sit, here, let me do this. When we take it out on the day we're gonna use it, and we let it warm up to room temperature, you're gonna see that thing just like, oh man, it becomes all bubbly and airy. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Pizza is an art form, and you gotta respect it. All right, so here we go. We did it. This is the first part of my video. After that, we're gonna show you how to do everything else to make pizza. But right now, I'm sticking this in the refrigerator for 48 hours. I'll see you guys.